Hello, everyone. This is Don from Kingdom 362, RogersRaiders.com. Please like, subscribe, and do all those other things that we don't put advertising up, but we do benefit. We have seen the hundreds of thousands of people who have read and viewed, and very few actually subscribe and like, but we do get nice letters. But I hate to tell you this, guys. Google only cares about if you actually click on something. Uh, it is a popularity contest out there. While we may be an underground success and people are reading and sharing and spreading the stuff around, matter of fact, our number one form of a new reader happens to be via email or text. Yeah, we can see those stats when you come to the server. Doesn't mean we can see you, just we know that it came from an internal link of a device. So, I appreciate the fact that you do that. But hit the like and subscribe buttons. It helps me not have to spend money in places that I shouldn't be spending money. Today we're going to do a little combination of new person who wants to know where some stats are. Some of these guys are trying to break the thousands. They don't realize where those other stats are. They think it's all in the gear. It's very little in the gear, really. Your account's broken up in four different areas: your gear, your airship, your guards, and your buildings. And then your buildings is kind of broke down a little further: your glory banners and your COAs. So today is the building expedition day. We're going to show you an order in which you should be adding banners, because people ask this question like, well, what's important? And it's easy to get fooled when you see the words attack, defense, and health. Attack, defense, and health. Well, I want to attack somebody, so I need better attack. Well, that's your ability to hit. And how much damage you do when you hit is this number down here. And the damage numbers are king. You will see all these down arrows on a stat report, and you could still win that fight if you've got more damage than the other guy does, or he didn't upgrade his buildings to reduce the damage that he takes. So damage going out, damage coming in. I prioritize damage going out versus damage coming in, but if you're getting farmed a lot, prioritize the damage coming in if you're not one of these attacking type people. So adjust a little bit for your play style, but don't get caught up in this attack defense game up here. More health is how you absorb more damage. So if you're still getting whipped when you've got this maxed out, be looking at your defense gems and your health gems. The defense gems are going to keep him from being able to hit you, and the health gems are going to help you absorb more damage when he does. So you can either take some of his ability to hit off the table, or increase your ability to absorb more damage and put that on the table. All right, so understand how these stats work. That's not what this is about, the understanding how the stats work. This is about where the stats are, because they interlock. Okay, so we got a Saturday expedition. You've all gone in here, seen these things, click on a castle, blah, blah, blah. Challenge march, close that out so we can just get the stats report. And then what we're going to be talking about is where these numbers are. Okay? And here we're a little bit ahead on some of the attacks, so our damage is landing even though it's a little lower, but we're like severely higher on some of these stats, whereas our damage numbers are not there. Okay, I don't know where they come up with this, but this is probably an outdated outpatch type deal where they were trying to get people to buy things, because you cannot achieve these numbers through normal means. So you're kind of behind the eight ball. But let's go look at where those are. So our first building that we upgrade after we just ding, and I just dinged to C26 here. So, and you notice, I mean, like yesterday I dinged C26. So you see everything in here is already 26. I stored up my stuff. I stored up my speed ups, and to get up there to where I can start building my T9s. you know, I'm prepared for these days. Now, uh, to get a little off topic, but on topic. So you have strat centers, and they got buffs. Match your strat center buffs with your expedition days. That way, your R4s know when to hit them, and the get in here, load your gunpowder. Everybody's got to get in and load your gunpowder. All right. So we burned this buff yesterday, so I got 5 days. So this buff will be ready for the next expedition day. And anybody who's planning on doing upgrades and their banners and saved all their banners and all that other stuff up, they just wait. They know on Saturday when I'm going to do all these building upgrades, I'm going to move further in expeditions, and I'm going to get more speed ups back. That's kind of the beauty of it is if you do all these things in one big lurch and burn the speed ups real quick, then what you wind up doing is getting a bunch of speed ups back. Same thing on research. You get tons and tons of speed ups from research, but you got to get the 26 to get Combat 2 open up to get anywhere in expeditions for those. That's a dirty secret on that one. And since I just dinged this castle at 26, I will be going over Combat 2 research and the research expeditions in another video very, very shortly. All right. Damage is king. Army damage. Army, troop means the same words. Okay. The army damage. That's damage for all 4 of your units. Okay. And you'll notice there's no damage on your actual troop buildings for growing them up. Those are the attack stats. They're in these off buildings that everybody skips. All right, so here's our infantry damage, I believe. Okay, so, I mean, you go, oh, yeah, here's our forge. It's our infantry damage. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It is what it is. They had to put it somewhere. You have 16 interlocking stats that correspond with your coat of arms. All right. So, if we go over here and we look at our glory for our army damage, we've got to have that too. Okay, so then we go back into our coat of arms and we go look at our forge. And our forge is increasing infantry. All right. So we've got our forge to glory level 20, which means when I get a purple COA, I can put it on there, and then I can start leveling my purple COAs on up and actually start heading to orange. As of the new patch, this is going to be fairly cheap. This COA panel is a huge chunk of stats. All right. We are talking, and now they just lowered the prices on these things. You're going to see 1,000 plus stats on lots of C24, C25s now. And that's because they're going to be able to go into the daily deal and buy these things to orange fairly quickly. It won't take but 4 or 5 weeks to get your first oranges up on these things. So let's look at the article that this video is in. And you don't see the video there yet because I'm making the video while we're doing it. All right, but here is the order in which to build your buildings. Now, we tell you Academy first, not because troop attack is that important, but because research is that easy to get behind on. You got to remember, not everybody's going to go through there and have 600-700 speed ups and all their RSS in their bag for the next level to just spam the next level out. All right, you have to do some planning for that things, and most people get a little instant gratification. They want to see something grow. So you're going to go in order. We tell you to do the Academy first so that you can be doing research while you're doing all other 15 of these. All right. Then we go to the Trap Factory for that army damage. Then we go to the Forge for that infantry damage. And we go to the Embassy for that cavalry damage. And these are actually all very quick, easy ones to do. And if you're getting the 2 hammers, the two construction things, then you should be. This is usually a day to get these first 4 damages out. Now remember, the reason we're doing the damage first is, so let's use my castle there as an example. We went from C25 to C26, which means I just opened up T9s. And everybody goes, oh my God, let's go grab some T9s. Well, they take forever to grow, to start building them, unless you're going to be speed buying those. So we're not talking about the coiners here. Coiners can do everything instantly. That's the whole point to coining, is instant gratification for your money. We're talking about the procedure for growing your stuff in an order here. All right, so we know it's going to take you a month to build a proper T9 March. Guys, it's just what it takes. I've a bunch of other videos. I've put that stuff out there. If you're doing it for free, it takes about a month to build one proper march. So now we're building T9s to add to our proper march, and that's where it'll take us 4 weeks if we don't use these speed ups for that stuff. And I tend not to use speed ups for things that die. Troops die. The purpose of what we're doing here is showing you how not to die. All right, so we just ding C26. I can go increase my army damage, my infantry damage, cavalry damage, distance damage, and then I can take the amount of damage I take off the table, and then I go into my troop stats. All right, and see my castle is not at the end. Okay, and look where my walls are. Okay, your walls are 4 days from C26 to 27, and the castle is another 10. All right. Now I stuck all these things down here at the bottom. So once I proc my castle, guess what? So I proc my walls. Now what do we know about walls? They take a huge amount of RSS. Okay. So while you're doing these little things that are easy, and if you got any type of building gear or construction gear on, they should almost be free. You are gathering RSS for your walls. You start your walls. Your walls are going to bleed every bit of RSS you ever had out of there. Then you start doing your other stuff. Focus on that castle. The reason is that castle is a big long timer. The 10 days to go from C26 to 27 is more than enough time to gather up all the RSS to do these things right here. Okay. All in all, C26 to 27, looking about 18, 19 days. Start to finish for a normal person not using the speed ups on this stuff. Okay, now you're going to get out of order on the pause days. And the reason you're going to get out of order on those pause days is, like I said, it is too tempting to add T9s to the rotation. But do your damage stats first. I mean, go up there and do those. They are quick, easy. And then if you want to do a troop building to get to your T9 started cooking, do your shooting range, because you're going to make 3 times as many of those as you are anything else anyway. So starting your distance troops cooking for 5, 6, 7 days of those build up while you're doing the others will save you a ton of speed ups if that's where you're heading, is down that road of speed ups. So I will put the link to this over there, because you are going to favorites this page so that you can come back here and say, okay, what was the order that I do those in? This is about making the troops that you've already built, the ones that have been sitting around in your castle for months, stronger. All right. As well as getting a little bit further in the expeditions that next week, as far as you can go. That way you get speed ups and glory banners, so that you can get more speed ups and more buildings and more glory banners. See, it's a self-feeding system. Like I said, R4s, R5s, couple your strats to the expedition days. A lot of people try to couple them to the gather events, the gold events. Well, those are once every 14 days anyway, and you can burn these strategies once a week. So you've got your, you usually will couple your healing to your KE event. Be smart. Pop your healing deal 5 minutes before the KE starts, so that you don't have everybody clicking heal after, and you click the buff 3 hours later. It's like, oh, looks like everybody's dead. Let me click the heal button. They've already clicked their heal button. Uh, do it at the cooldown. When the reset happens, go ahead and pop those things. All right. So your coat of arms, right? We want all these stats up in here. Now, this is why we have so many stinking videos on catacombs. All right, coat of arms, and you see mine are all zeroed because I buy them every chance I get. And same thing with my airship, because your coat of arms and your airship are your two strongest stats. All right, and see, like even on my airship, I'm already plus fours, even though I don't even have all purples in my coat of arms. I don't even have my airship up high enough to enable some of these things. So as soon as I get my airship up just a little bit more, boom, 42% more on my distance attack. And it's always your attacks that suffer. Stars, of course, for your airship. But couple this with the article. There's a reason for the math. We want you to do these things in order. That will keep you as strong as possible, as fast as possible. Because some of it's about surviving with what you already have while you're building the new setup. Don't be in such a stinking hurry to burn all them speed ups to get a big T9 army. And I'll show you why. Let's go to train. Okay, so there's my T9's information. Power is 82. Power 63. Now, all those stats that we just talked about, couple on top of that. So T9s are 20% stronger than a T8 in that subclass. All right, because remember, a T9 infantry is good against light cavalry, not all cavalry, light cavalry. Okay, a T8 is good against riflemen. All right, then we go back down here. T7's light cavalry. All right, so T9s are double what a T7 is worth. But you got to be able to hit, you got to be able to damage. So it doesn't matter how strong that number is if the troop doesn't land any blows. So the stats have to back up the troop. Those troops, simple thing of math is 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 0 is 0. Okay? Think of you not putting stats on there as the same as having zeros. Okay? I don't care if you have 8 million troops in your castle. If you don't put stats on them, they're all going to die when somebody with a little bit of stats comes along. It's just the way it works. All right. And I've heard the rumors about the volume of troops, and not true. Everybody thinks there's a volume issue. Not real true. The defense of your castle is based on your march cap, not the total troops in there. Let's dispel that rumor right now. You have 1 million troops in your castle, and everyone goes, oh my god, he has 1 million troops. That just means he's going to be able to respond. First of all, it doesn't mean that you can't kill 500,000 of his 1 million troops in one shot. But it does mean he's going to be able to respond. And you don't know if he's got an anti-scout on. 500,000 of those may be the fact that his artillery has lived for 6 months. And everything else he's got has died because he can't beat anybody else without his stats. Don't let those numbers get ahead of reason. All right, so stay focused. Use that article. It's going to help you. Just once you learn to do it in order, it'll become automatic. So you probably found this video because you're trying to learn how to do these things, or if you're in one of my startup alliances, I told you, go here. I use these as a training aid so that I don't have to repeat the same thing over and over and over and over again because everybody's on different time schedules. All right, so Pay attention to this stuff. It matters. Uh, and this is a good day to teach you about where some of your stats come from. Remember, coat of arms is 1/3 of your stats at some point, about 1/5 nowadays. But the it's a chunk of your stats. When you get upwards, it's going to be 200 to 300 points on each one of your stats down in that area. So pay attention to what's going on. That's a good place. The daily deal. I haven't seen the new daily deal for the coat of arms, but I'm imagining that it's going to probably mimic the Airship, and there's going to be with this patch. So there's going to be a $5 package, and that's something to talk about there. There's, because today happens to be the Airship one. Why they do this weirdly, but you see right there we're getting tons of Airship parts, and I have subscriptions, so I get these. So basically, since I'm at fours, I get to every week for $5. I get to go up one rank, or I could go and spend. Well, I could spend $100 here and have all orange Airship parts right now. Wouldn't do me any good because I can't turn them on without my Airship being high enough. So be running bounties, increase your Airship EXP, and sit in the spirit mines, all Airship all the time after you get VIP 8. Or if you're like me, VIP 9, just because I get tired of swapping my gear around. Now, pay attention, do this stuff, and it becomes very easy, very quick. All right. Remember, the further you get along in this expedition, that's the more loot you're going to get for tomorrow. All right, that free loot. You'll be able to go in there, and almost everybody buys speed ups, but they put a limit on that for a reason. And my recommendation these days is you see that these things are 12,000 coins. I buy these up, and when the reset comes, I got time left on this timer. I'll buy all the 4s and all the 3s as well, and get my Airship starred up. That's another part of that star, especially down on that stats table. Not in expeditions, but in PvP. So this is teaching you how to enhance those stats so that when you look at the stats reports in an actual kill versus kill event, you don't look so silly. We will have another article that's going to go through the PvP complete stats where you look at a full stats report, how to read a stats report. Because I'm getting a little, hey, look at my stats, tell me what you think. Can you read them yourself? If you can't read the stats report, you can't fix your stats. All right. No, you got to know where. I know there's like 200 things, and people their eyes glaze over when they see a stats report. Let's see if I got one of those hanging around. Okay. So you look through all this stuff and you go, oh my gosh, you look at all these numbers. Well, we just showed you where 16 of those numbers come from. And that's not the only place they come from. See, like my army damage is 22 in the buildings. Well, I have 80 others from other places. All right. More than likely, I think it's gear on this one. So it's not the only place a stat comes from. But once you've maxed out an area, that's it for the damage. I mean, it's an SK5 fully bannered up. C31 is like 120 damage. So these numbers are hard to come by. But know where they're at so that you know what to focus on. And then guards are a good place to be looking for an extra 20 points in this area, guys. So pay attention to all this stuff. This is where we're looking for it. And I appreciate it. Please like, please subscribe. It does help me out quite a bit. On this one, because of the listed order, you're going to want to make sure you save as a bookmark and favorites that page that has it in order so you can share with the other new players, because they're going to ask this question over and over and over again: which ones do I do first? Which ones do I do next? Uh, and what's a glory banner is often a question. That's the button we're pushing here up here where it says get more. That's the buy more stuff button. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you all.